越南。
越南。我那蔓越。
曼陀是越南。
没有越南没有人。
I have to cranberry rice. Carton. Carton.
一卡车，不是一卡通。
一卡通。第22。
哭啊！
人家还在看22台吗？
没有，
有啊，北方都想讲，晚上有。
他还有播。
然后晚上8点9点。
他说大人都配音做的多好吗？
没有，少年悍将影，我觉得现在我觉得。
他已经越来越那个。
对，没有腹肌效应出来以后就不好看。
对。所以一堆人在听那个。
After carton, you write.
但松饼还是
delicate.
没有，很多以前我喜欢的。
像现在有什么小闪电侠？最新的叫小闪电侠。
我觉得现在卡通越来越难看，就是阿甘完结了。
然后什么那个熊的还可以，但剩下都很难看。
你说熊熊一点。
是吗？
You can talk to you right
Yeah.
now. So you have all 50 words?
Yeah. Me. No. 这都是哪来的？是哪来的？都拿。
啊！你卡到我的。
给我！
你这小狗。
给我！给我
！Shut up and take my money！
哇，这个什么？
你要先去，好像是我哎。
这是不定的规则，你还没接受是不是？
去了。
一哭。听起来有点不妙，一哭这个东西真的。
你太脏了，好不好？自己太脏了。
是我太脏了。
自己不妙。
我看太多了。
不对劲啊。不对劲。
不管是不对劲。我的人生有没有？
小红这种这个话题不太对啊。
啊，你们那个。
有啊，有很多女的。
小莫
对的。我也不干，如果没有垃圾。
没关系，可以。
好啊。
啊？
可以也是垃圾大。
我听到都没快递。
啊？
这个吗？
也是大买。
离谱。
You guys record this?
No, I don't.
Alright, so who's gonna?
Me.
哦。
干什么？
香菜英文怎么讲
？Colander。
Good one。
那 Colander。
Colander 你妈啦。
对啊，没有2个，一个是 Parsley 跟 Colander，然后 Parsley 是外国的。外国一个叫洋香菜，一个叫香菜，所以你要讲 Colander。
Colander 不是绿王吗？
台湾的是 Colander 啊 ，Coriand 啊。
是那个什么？NC 不是吗
？NC 啊，就是
香菜，我记得之前有查过，现在忘记，我记得是 Colander 的。
Corny。
等下是什么？
不知道香菜日文叫。
Coriander。
Coriander。
不是念
Coriander。
Parsley is different.
它也是香料那个。
No.
不是 Parsley 洋香菜。
Parsley is different. It's also a kind of plant. It looks like.
Green.
Yeah, green. It looks like coriander, but the texture is different. Even the look is different. And the smell is different.
你觉得我要来玩那个吗？下
Which one you mean parsley or you mean coriander?
Coriander. OK.
我给你点。
为什么才1天我要多钱多
？I hate coriander.
I hate coriander.
I hate it very much.
So you don't eat coriander?
I don't want to even see it or smell it. If I smell it, I'll puke. 1 day I saw my friend send one thing to me. It's like this. Thursday is coriander season.
Okay.
And they
It's always coriander season. You know, coriander is an almond that never runs out of seeds.
后面。
啊。
You know what I mean? There's always coriander.
Yes.
香菜派的。
Yeah. And these are all made of
Coriander.
yes. It's my family knows I hate coriander a lot, but he sent this picture.
没有，好像没有过去。
Is it?
He really bought this one. It's kind of hobby.
都活过来了。
啊，又活过来了。
没有，就是不过去的变成正常了。
There's coriander on the top.
没有，全部滚起来，然后就爱莲。
There's cream on the
爱
coffee and
莲
then
被你看到很多。
我知道爱莲，我知道爱莲被
coriander
走。
with
对
coffee.
啊，然后就。
Yeah.
掉头就走了。
对啊。为什么
You invent that?
小灯泡在？
And then noodle made. 哎，调味怎么样？
我很讨厌。
一定的。
啊，他不是那些，
对，但我觉得其实。
他们后来又活过来。
对，但我觉得人可以在。
Coriander and.
我以为那个什么。
Oh my god！
没有，但没有后来都活回来啊，现在除了爱莲外全部都活着。所以我觉得可以再死更多。我们来找一下。
Even chocolate made by coriander.
What？
要不我跟我讲，我是那个。
Chocolate.
Wait.
Even by coriander.
Coriander and chocolate.
有两个。然后王牌。
Do you love coriander?
I like coriander, but not sweet enough.
That's chocolate. Coriander cocoa.
Coco, cocaine.
Cocoa.
Cocoa you mean?
It's coriander.
Yeah, it's coriander.
Super sweet.
And chocolate.
You sure it's coriander?
Yeah, it's that coriander.
Coriander
Cocoa.
Cocoa.
Cacao.
Yes. And noodle.
哎呦。
凤梨酥。
Oh my god.
Pineapple,
可以
pineapple.
可以，你要看，
Cake.
你想要看谁？
Coriander pineapple cake.
你要看。哎，有没有黑肉？
Every
少黑肉。
thing made
From coriander?
coriander.
这个牛肉。
哦，这个是不同的。
I hate it.
啊，不知道。
Hotel.
黑肉是香。
So you didn't eat it? You didn't eat it?
No, I
这样有办法了。
don't.
我们在黑肉是办法的。
So when did your family find it?
I don't know. He didn't tell me. He just showed me this picture.
So you mean in Taipei there's like a store that sells this coriander?
Yeah, maybe somewhere in Taipei.
只是要有剧情。
it's 彰化县吗 It's in 彰化。
有危险。假如你要去
No,
玩
I think
标
so.
的
I saw it.
就每个人要100%。
你这不是温泉，你是珠光人。
啊。
还是那你买课堂买？
很有哎，他好有。跟这个。
好，我刚看。那我买温泉，然后比较。
画的。
OK。
Like it?
哦。
You like it? 就这样。
我现在我这个动作了。
好了，今天。
Coriander hell.
Madness.
Hell.
Madness.
Madness or madness? Madness.
What the？
在很轻松。
是上坡上去。
OK。
到底会不会被你妈发现啊？不会啊，都没有什么。
Yara。
看另外一个例子。
我还没看过假的。
哦，好哎。喂，这是香菜。
很早吗？
没有，他没有。他是画1N。
1N啊，蛮早吗
？1N 船长你在公安小。欠他。
哎，我觉得都没有安利啊。
安利。
干嘛？哎，雷玉有。
干什么爱？
哦，没有，有人一样的。
过动儿啊。
Next.
你找那个
干嘛？
我去录那个。
哦，那是香水王国那个。
我去录那个好了，我去把那个音录。
哎，
药草。
再加水。
坡哎，
刚波哎，
刚坡可爱。
刚波好可爱，刚波超可爱的。
你有看到那个 Jam 吗？我等下给你们看。那个谁？那个谁啊？
不是我。
你还在享受这个哦？
天哪，惨绝人寐。
让我们抽出我们的下一位幸运
有5等分吗？到5等分。
哇！
儿。
马兰达。
他抽到你。
哦，好啦。
有5等分。
我把阿 K 叫出来。那你们两个中间
不要排一下啊！现在掰一个，你好了。
你要抓宝。
那你们两个再一次
叫出来。
下礼拜一。
明天好玩啊！没有抽笔哦，今天哦。
My friends and I made a schedule. We made a one of
比赛报告。
你们有抽笔吗？
有啊，下礼拜一。
one of my friends.
我这里有空好像还有对不对？
And we were going to sports center, but there's everything we wanted to say.
前台是
Sports
你的，
concept.
稍微不地方嘛。
是这样，我们是只要有想去的时候去买。
也有一般的，通知班跟强制抽离，就是那一整班一起抽走。
我前3只会强制，
对，前3只会强制就是一起抽走。如果你退出那个通知班之后再去，在那一班人就可以不要抽离啊，对啊，直接上去之后来走。当机会。
Pools. Yeah. You guys know pools?
那这种报季节卷之类会被打赢。
就被他打包。
No. Pools. P-O-O-L-S.
哦，我知道啊。
撞。撞你们的。It's called pools or billiards. Yes.
啊，我就说哈，
撞球的手势。
这就是我会玩的。没有，我不会玩这种。
虚了。
And also like billiards.
那个天下父母。
I think this is like very nice way to do it. And it's more fun than my imagination. Next, we went to because me and another friend thought that was too boring, so after 30 minutes we just went and had lunch. Yeah, and there's also has restaurant.
You mean in the
Yeah, and
没有，这有一首歌是
Okay.
yeah, so we just have lunch there.
You mean they have a restaurant there? But that restaurant is just for the people who live there? Okay.
And after lunch we left there and we went to instrument shop.
Instrument. You mean they feel like musical instruments? Okay.
And we rent a bedroom and play that drum there for $3.
Okay, so you rented some of the space and you practice your music. You know what you mean?
这个包我最喜欢吃吧。
Stage drum.
吃哦，我也很爱闻。
That's because one of my friends like living there.
我想买它的。
That friend, she had taxes. So we just finished after like
So you guys all practice jazz music there?
Yeah.
That's it?
就会是你的好选择。哎，你有看这个吗？是。吧。对，我搞，因为那么好看。
where the instrument is.
那不是游戏。还不错，无限滑板，真的不错看。
抽我们下一个幸运儿。
不要。
整个真的，然后还没整个真的晚上。
不要。
不要 跟他讲的那个
有关速度、激情和滑板的故事。
A few weeks ago, our teacher asked us to play table tennis, and we had a test.
难的。
just we need to hit against the wall at least 15 times. 15 times.
被竞赛。米娅儿子。
对，对不起，我找到。Because I only just hit to the net, to person not to the wall before, so I didn't.
你有新的 ASM 吗？
Hit the tennis, table tennis. But we just against people, but not against the wall. So I didn't practice it before. So I need to come to practice it. And after some practicing, I found that I'm really not good at playing something that I need to practice. Such as I didn't. I'm not good at playing badminton or table tennis, but I haven't played tennis before, so I didn't know if I can play it or not. But I just didn't. But I just not good at playing table tennis. So first I just practice and I go to take a test. But I just hit about 20 to 30 times. And I think, yes, but I think it's okay. After I just played with my classmates, and I say some of them just hit 70 times, and some of them hit 100 times. So I think it's not enough for me. So I just practice. And the next day, I just go to take a test again. And I hit about 47 times. And I think that's okay. It's just the half of my classmates' scores. So because that classmates just joined the summer camp about the table tennis before. He 打100多下 because he joined the summer camp and the summer camp teacher asked him to hit against the wall 3,000 times. So he hit against the wall just half an hour and not stop. So he is really good at playing it. So I didn't want to become so powerful like him. Yeah. So but our PE teacher said it's very important to practice some sports like table tennis and swing. Because we are getting older, we didn't have so much energy to play like basketball or volleyball. But we can swing to practice our body, and we play table tennis. We just didn't move so much, but we can practice our flexibility or concentrated ability. So I think it is very important too. So I spend a lot of time practicing because I want to make it more, make it better.
我觉得要挑战从今天开始就好。对的啊，加油。
That's it. Practicing, playing table tennis.
They play, you can just say practicing my.
我跟你讲，那个很重要。
干嘛？
Table tennis skills.
所以我觉得男生穿女服装很好看。
很好看啊。
要看男生。
我喜欢女。
对，他很好看没错，跟 Julian 他女服装才大一样，可能不会到很好看。
有没有要穿？
那个。
下一个就你了。就你了啊。就决定是你了。
Julian。
那感觉就我的。等一下，我起不来，我得腰。然后我那天穿着新的鞋子打篮球，结果闪到腰了。
老了。洗衣机打太多。
哭啊！那只会让我伸展而已，那没事的。OK。
村民。
Okay. Wait, what? Okay. Last week, I went to a doctor because I think I hurt my back. And then, but the doctor said nothing happened, but I think there's something happened. Huh?
How did you hurt your back?
I don't really know. I think I just stretch it and it happened something. And it hurts a lot. And yesterday I played basketball. I wear my new
还没有事情啊，会好好就有事情，
还没有出事。
会好好就有新鲜。
推荐一下。
反正毕旅是12月的事了。
去年12月。
哦，越南毕。啊。
然后通常那个毕旅回来之后，跟我们班上都会签那种。
真的，我们班完全没有。
我们班2队，我们班明明就2队，
你家那边你来的。因为我们班上最八卦就是最近在讲，要不要你去打？我说什么？他们因为现在2队的已经就2年前都已经说谈话，然后也说很无奈，然后我们班就已经没办法了，这样。他们就在比较，我说什么那个，然后我还在那个。 我没有这样，是吗？报喜。
然后大家都在。
not our.
妹妹。
到底有谁在场各位有人知道他那个瑞的第一长相吗？没有人知道，快点给我们看照片吧。快点。先讲一下。你看瑞喜欢哪一集？快点啦。有点。你来给你这边。
他今年挖不到了，挖到这样。
这个。
你们光是要打一只手。
太简单了，我直接归你们学校就好了。
然后呢？
那2年班啊。再问一下班上其他同学好奇才呢。他们应该很乐意提供这种八卦信息。但如果同学都是这样子，都是不要害羞。
没有，我告诉你，就是他们提供，但是也不会谁。
至少我知道。大家很知道。家长会知道吗？
家长不会知道。
都知道太神奇了。
然后介入很多。
乱乱。
No, I don't know why. I don't know why.
是时候来报了一下好了，打一下。
他为什么一直不给我们看毕业照片？
没有，
太奇怪。
我也蛮想看的。
他怕他给你们看，他自己就会变成反应。
对，你们会去那里集吧？
大概是吧。
你会去他的照片集？
不会吧？你只是给我们看照片而已，有没有什么反应？
我没有。
可以就上面一直 tag 他，一直 tag 他。
我又没有存。
不是。
我又没有把它存下来，这样别谈。
好了，快点啊！
你不会存进女朋友照片吗？
啊。
我会啊。
你有女朋友？
我有很多。
我有虚拟的。
众多女友。
我有众多女友。
而且有些还是不，你还可以，都可以弄那种情色报复。
你给我啪啪吗？
那本来就是这个。
是啊，要看的是我的云端。
你的硬碟哦。
各种。
各
又
这是我终于有自己可以讲。
太多了。
你有几 GB 啊？
Last week we went to the
然后那边
Grand
是学，
and
上了一个我跟我弟弟对话的账号，
we were at a
然后我
hotel
就把
and I was the last one to use the bathroom,
我用
like the restroom to take a
我
shower.
用
And
800
when I was done, I went to the door and the lock was broken. So I was locked in the bathroom.
好赞呐！
哎
You can open the door.
I
很
couldn't.
精彩。
Like there's a lock. I can turn it, give a lock, and turn it to go back and open it. But then I turned it back, it's still stuck. Like you can move you can spin the doorknob, and you can make it to all the way to the bottom. The door just won't open. It's stuck. And my friends, they called the staff. Called staff, and that they made a phone call, and staff came, and they still couldn't get it open.
Even when they're simple like the.
The engineers had a call, and they tried to like spin it or like get it from the bottom or on the side.
You mean that door itself?
Yeah.
来，你来看在哪里？
They tried to get it, but it still didn't work.
So you mean like this is probably some way to open the door, like without going through the knob?
Maybe.
把人划上去了。
And they found out that the lock was like broken. It was the stuff like it was stuck here, and when you turn it, it is still there. It doesn't move.
头也卡
Oh, okay, so there's probably some mechanism connection.
Yeah, and they called us the engineer, and they're on the way. And I decided to turn it again, and it just opened.
It opened.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it just I don't know. Being stuck in a room, like especially when the room is like pretty small, it's actually a little bit scary.
So how long have you been locked out?
45 minutes.
一起把机稳点。
I
都会有戴眼镜啊。
我是不想看那个。
Brother teacher, the whole thing was pretty boring. So.
Yeah, where was that? Which city?
What?
Which city did you go to?
China.
Okay.
Pretty far.
So like the whole class
我
went
比
there?
较期待。
Yeah.
哪里？因为我之前考 IELTS。
Is that? What do you call it?
假如你说我这边要排第
Being
一
locked in the
第
bathroom.
一名，第二名，第三名，第四名。
好像有。
那你也没有抽离，你们要干嘛？
拿我吗？
那你们班上课？
刚考完先抽离。
等等等，应该没有等等等等。
不啊。
哦。不抽离完在原班上课？
啊，不抽离就去原班啊，然后抽离就去楼上打。慢点，
那我抽离啊。
对啊。
你们抽离？
当然去抽啊，哪去抽？
那个座位是自己排的吗？
啊，没有，我们学校排的，而且还会刻意跟你不认识的排一起。
不然你就要故意那个。
不啊，故意不去啊。
为什么？
他没抽，他成绩比我好一点，但是他没抽，他就不想抽。
是啊。
他什么？
哎。
Yesterday。
到时候复习完还心情感。
干嘛？那意思。
不是作业上。
And last year September, I joined a content like a knowledge king, but not just not reading knowledge king. 阅读知识网。
哦，那无聊比赛。
对。
那我有读几本，后来好像他就不知道为什么就被遗弃了，然后我就不去了。
没有比赛，哎，打分比耶。
啊？
有跟我来吗？
我不确定哎，他不输掉了，可我没有去哦。
好像没来。
刘公不意外啊。
在新也不意外，都垃圾。
有啊，在新有去。
还是垃圾啊？
哦，没有，你们3个就穿你们的这种制服，然后有一个短发的人。
哇塞，你怎么可以讲别人的？
学妹。
那讲的别人很歪，总是。
不行啊，你要逼不争
比
啊。
开一点。
是没错。
是学妹吗？
她是学妹。
那我就不认识。
那你就可以去。
Last September or
没有，应该说那我就不认识。
race like the first content of the knowledge king race. the reading knowledge king, and I'm the first of our squad. So the squad just give me 4 books. 4 books. The first is the Frankenstein. The Frankenstein. The Frankenstein. Just a Frankenstein. And the second is the Old Man and the Thief. And the third is the story of Q. Of Q is a Chinese Q. Mr. Q is a Chinese book from a person called Lu Xing, and he is really famous of this book. And the last is the Big Doll of My Son, and another Chinese book, and still famous. Okay, just that. And yesterday it was the content, and there are 25 questions, but all the questions are long and difficult, and there's no something like A, B, C, D. It's just you need to use your thoughts to answer it. And the second part is the first part is just like this, and there's only 15 minutes to write. So it's difficult, but I think I can go to the second part because I have my own thoughts, and my teacher said that because the content has no right answer, so if you have your own things, you will be good at it. Okay. But another story is like there are 3 girls from another junior high school, and because I have a good ear, so I just because I'm bored, so I'm just hear what they say. They say like this. There are 3 persons. The first is a princess head. And the second is ponytail. And the third is just not long hair but not short hair, and medium. And the princess head, she said that the boy at behind is handsome, and the ponytail says really, and she just moved her head like this, just like, and she said just so. And the medium head, she turned around like this, and my eyes are on her eyes, and then she just moved her head quickly, and she said, oh, that's good. And the third just like these girls, I think they just like here to having a content, but not to look for a handsome guy. So these 3, I think they have no chances to go to the second part.
后面那一段就是
where at our school, because the content is from all the other schools need to come to our school to have content. Yes, something like reading content.
后面那一段是。
后面那一段真的有，多少？它不是中粉哦，那看起来如果按照中粉，那感觉好。
这看起来像什么？
它很像中粉啊。假螺蛳粉，有人知道螺蛳粉吗？
我有吃过哎。
就是很臭那个。
我应该没有吃过。
没有任何的 idea 这样。
螺蛳粉是螺丝啊？
后面这个
真的螺丝吗？这螺丝啊。这是中粉啊。
你们要做哪一个？
哪个？ 现在我为什么2个桌子啊？然后桌子，好，
一个是中华没关系啊，再
三桌子都
再怎么飞都不会上国主。
三就好。
对不起，在我这里需要被我导致。他在外面做事。好丑你啊！你有可别点。
这个时间。
好。
65 is finished?
It's finished.
Alright,
Don't stop rocking.
那吉娃那一点，
还有什么你的吉娃娃？
到现在。
Oh my god. God. 这可以养吗？
哦对，我跟同学弄了一支影片，你知道怎样？然后刚好就不是有一种那种一个马路，你知道吗？然后我就刚好我看到他，我同学就拍我出来讲说，哎，你看台湾企鹅哎，这可以养吗？结果他就突然飞起来飙我脸上，然后就直接撞，就是然后我对，然后撞，我很怕，所以我就他就直接拍我，就这样，然后我们班同学把它丢到网络上 YouTube 就意外还有500多人观看。
为什么？
对，然后就说什么下面第2代这样，但是我后来那个我们班同学把它赢了。
哦。
没关系，我现在已经。
你把可以红的，你知道吗？
我也觉得。
台湾去了，但你可能现在把它标完了。好啊。在哪里啊？那我可不可以？65。哎，不是66。来吧。66大。
Alright, do you see it? Do you see the picture? So,
Yes. What is happening in this?
transitions. Kosovar, Bosnian bride, preparing for traditional wedding in Donji Luji. Located in the sharp between Kosovo and Macedonia. Okay, so do you see the picture?
Yes.
So,
Great. She looks
不要意淫我
so
了。
what do you think?
special. She looks white.
这有大风。
Yes, she looks white. Hell. And colorful. Yes.
Okay, so this is kind of a tradition, right?
Yes.
Their marriage traditions, the brides probably have some decorations on their faces to show that they move from one place to another. See the top says transition. What is transition? I'll say it. Change. Okay, transition is when you move from one state to another state, or one phase to another phase. This is called transition. You understand that? It is a change. It is when you change from one situation to another, it's also called transition. Now here it says, this place, this country, which country is it?
Kosovo, Bosnia， 那个哥斯维亚及巴斯尼亚，哇，这个也是中美洲那些小国地方。啊 I think it's Central America, not or 波斯尼亚及赫塞哥维那。
那是巴格本岛吧？
而且不对，这个是什么？
对啊，这不是嘛？就讲的。
不是，是波斯尼亚。
波斯尼亚吗？
不是那个波斯尼亚。
他有写吗？
没有，口沙巴波斯尼亚。口沙巴。科塞维跟波斯尼亚。我想一下，好像不是哎。
Where is it?
Oh, wait, maybe it's in the Balkan Peninsula.
Where is it?
In Balkan Peninsula.
巴尔干半岛。
Not in South America.
Not Central America.
Not Central America?
有好像记错。
波斯尼亚。
You don't remember? You forgot.
I think it's Balkan Peninsula. Because lock.
就是那一个。
Okay, the Balkan, by the way, the Balkan is not Venezuela.
Oh, what's that?
它是半岛。
半岛。
The Balkan Balkan is the name of an area, is also the name of a sea. You understand what I mean? And the Balkan is a region where there are some countries. Like what? Like this country that we're talking about. Kosovo.
对啊，就是有科索沃嘛，跟波斯尼亚又在各位呢。
科索沃嘛。
And Bosnia.
The country near Albania.
Albania is also there.
Yeah.
What else?
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria is a little far, but not very far.
Serbia. And Croatia.
Serbia, Croatia.
And 还有什么国家？
Bosnia Herzegovina.
Yes, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
波西米亚。
还有什么？Macedonia.
Macedonia.
And North Macedonia.
东马。
北马其顿有啊，最近在打架，然后 and Greece. Greece.
That's far. Not
Greece
far.
超干远的
希
话。
腊还哪有啊？
Greece
Greece and Cyprus are far.
What?
Greece and Cyprus are far in the east.
Really far, near Turkey.
Yes, far in the east.
再拉一口啊。
这个是好地方。
对啊。然后就疯了，然后就3000万青年死掉。然后还有什么？那个蒙塔内哥罗。蒙塔内哥罗。
为什么在
像个地理小博士。
他什么都知道是不是？
对啊，而且说手术都知道。
社会组。
对啊。
请问，试问 Zack 是社会组吗？
确实觉得也是社会组，不过社会看起来没有很
好，那我问你，赖皮瑞亚手术。
我哪会知道？
伊索比亚的手术。
知道。
那个叫什么？来聊一下。忘记。
那个台湾的手术。
安妮夏贝巴。
你知道台湾的手术吗？
知道，对，不是苗栗手术是哪里？
苗栗啊。
苗栗手术哪里我也不知道。是苗栗吗？
没有，台湾的手术你说错，台湾手术在北京。
啊。
对啊，不就有什么中华民国北京吗？
闭嘴！打住！
中华民国北京，你还叫我闭嘴？
中华民国北京啊。
本来就是中华民国北京。
不是，我是。
中华人民共和国。
不是，我可以去上课。好，下一题。
反正科索沃就。
那我说中华人民共和国台北嘛。
台北的。
一个放弃人生的感觉。
别说明天说。
他也就是，
那为什么？看电视了。Balkan Peninsula.
Balkan.
Okay, the Balkan is a sea, the Balkan Sea, and all the countries around the Balkan Sea, all right, that area is called the Balkan. It's actually just called the Balkans with S.
Balkan.
Yeah, the Balkan region.
Balkan.
Where the first World War.
World War.
Anyway, they have some different traditions, different ways to do things. And one of their special traditions is this, how they decorate the new brides. Like the brides, when they're about to get married, they give them this kind of decoration on their face, or this kind of makeup, or whatever you want to call it. All right, and then, anyway, this is the first part. It says, look at the photo, answer the question. Now, what does it say there? What is happening in the picture?
The bride is decorated by.
Yeah, but look at the hens. What are the hens doing?
Hens. 它先什么东西吗
They are, yes, how do you say that in English? They are
having a wedding.
Unveiling.
Unveiling.
You know that unveil? What's unveil? You know the word unveil?
Veil.
Yes.
Veil. Veil.
What is veil?
What is veil?
Unveil is the opposite of veil.
Veil on the.
Yes.
哦。驱出面纱。对。
When you veil something, alright, you cover it. For example, you can unveil doesn't only mean the physical meaning of uncover, but it also means to let some information go to public.
Reveal.
Something like reveal. But unveil is usually when something is new. For example, let's say that let's say BMW, they have a new car. Everybody's talking about that car, but nobody has seen that car before. You understand that? Nobody's seen that. But they heard about it, but nobody knows what it really looks like. So on a special day, right? A lot of media people or people who go to take pictures and ask the important people at BMW and everything, they go to some place, and what they do is that they have a car there, but it's covered with some material. And when it comes the time to let everybody know, they unveil the car. You understand that? That means that they take the cover away, and then everybody gets to see it. You understand the meaning of unveil? Okay, so here they're unveiling the bride, and then what are some important traditions in life? Like what? Not necessarily related to a country. Traditions.
生活中重要的小事。
马上做你。
如果我有
当时家里买了一个新冰箱。
鸟嘛就来了。为什么？
冰骨灰。
你太坏了吧！
才该把你的骨灰给
Huh? Graduations? Right? Like what, for example? Do you know any special graduation traditions?
钻地板。
啊，真的吗？第一层。
For example, there
没有毕业的时候把什么课本什么忘记拿去，
there
然后
is
什么拿汽油打掉。
there is a popular American graduation tradition that a lot of people do right now in many countries.
Throw their
Yes, when they throw their hats up in the air.
啊，
那就打到人。
hat，
对，
这是毕业吗？
Right? So this
hat，
is
会把地头砍下来，看不
We don't have tradition.
say it?
We don't have tradition.
You don't have that tradition?
Not tradition.
We don't have that hat. We don't wear
Ah,
that.
you,
Graduation.
We don't wear
有
those.
画，没画。
there are people in Taiwan with those kind of
But
just college?
We have
哦，
You guys have that?
junior high school. What? 我们今年还这个。
你们去哪里就报的？
哎，我也忘记在哪里，哥是在学校，快乐中。
是他洗澡。
So that is, yeah, that could be a special tradition, for example, like a graduation tradition. Are there any other traditions that you know that are special in life?
Ready?
感觉先讲 wedding。
Wedding, okay, like what?
先生兵。You mean what?
Earthquake zone. No.
Earthquake.
I know where you're going.
没有人的一生都会有2到3次灾难。
What did you say? You said something?
Wedding.
Yeah, wedding, okay, what else? Like what? Okay, what kind of special traditions do you have? Like what kind of special wedding traditions do you have in Taiwan?
传教。
然后踩什么？
过火。
就是花球。
捧花啦。
捧花。
花球。
花球。
玩花枝。
奶油球。
是 hold flower.
Hold the flower.
啊，透气透气。
Ah,
flower.
Yes,
Still
tied
hold
together.
on.
That is called a bouquet. Do you know what a bouquet is?
OK，是花束吗？可是好像很难
Do you know bouquet?
不可以。
Okay,
真的
but
很难有
a bouquet is not always about flowers. Actually, the real meaning is flower, but sometimes it means something else. I give an example. For example, if you want to have like a TV membership. You know what TV membership is?
跟可以是那个吗？忘记了。
Okay, like what TV memberships can you have? Like the MOD, for example, right? So if you go to MOD, they probably have maybe 3 or 4 bouquets. You understand that? So the smaller the bouquet is, the cheaper you pay. The bigger the bouquet is, the more expensive. For example, like bouquet number 1. Let's say you pay 200 NT, right? And then you get maybe 20 channels. Bouquet number 2 is probably 400 NT, and you have maybe like 36 channels. You understand that? And then bouquet number 3 is probably, I don't know, maybe 200 more expensive, $200 more expensive. But you pay, you know what I mean? Like you get maybe a little, well, probably the same amount of channels, but you have more movies than other things. Maybe bouquet 1 you have more documentaries than movies. Maybe bouquet 2 you have more music than any other thing. But they probably have bouquet 4 or 5 where you have all of these together. It's more expensive. So these things are called bouquets. You understand the meaning? Yeah. These are also called bouquets.
有时候也不丢花束和花束尾，那 some tradition is like made a chicken fly, and someone catch the chicken will be the next wedding.
You mean they drop the chicken someplace?
No, they have a live chicken, and made the chicken fly.
Fly? How can it fly? The chickens don't fly.
鸡会飞不是吗？
Can chicken fly?
还是把鸡拉去啊。
The chicken can try to fly, but they can't fly.
They made the chicken try to fly, and someone catch the chicken will be the next bride or groom.
So, did you catch the chicken?
Huh?
Did you catch it?
No.
Bouquet? B-O-U-Q-U-E-T. E-T, yes. Some people pronounce it bouquet, but actually it's bouquet, the right pronunciation is bouquet.
Okay.
You find it? Okay, so we say different traditions, right? Different ceremonies or different traditions have different ways. For example, like some special traditions or celebrations in Taiwan can be different from others elsewhere. Like what? For example, let's say that somebody is getting married, your friend is getting married, okay? Now you go into your friend's celebration or marriage with some flowers. What kind of bouquet are you going to get your flowers? What kind of flowers? What kind of flowers? Are there any specific flowers that you give your friends on their birthday?
菊花。
用菊花，那菊
菊花残满地伤。
个百合，橘子大。
So if it's a wedding, do you give your friends, for example, white flowers?
No.
Red. Red.
You don't, right? It has to be red.
Red.
So if you give, okay, let's imagine that some of your friends are getting married and you give them white flowers. What do you think their reaction will be?
They will be happy. 白色的是这个吧？
就满天星的那种。
红色的。
那种满天
So
星。
what do you think they will feel?
Not less happy.
They
They
won't
white.
be very happy, right?
Yes.
So they will start to think too much, right? They'll start to think that it's done on purpose, right? Okay, so these are also different ways to show, for example. Okay, so next one it says, what are some important transitions in life? You know the meaning of this question? Important transitions, like what? There are many transitions in life, right? Like what?
Taro.
Huh?
So any transitions?
Born.
Huh? Okay, but being born is not, the transition is not for the baby. You understand that? Because the baby wasn't. It didn't exist. But the transition for the parents, right? Maybe they became more responsible and like parents. What else do you think? Like transitions?
那个被代孕吗？
There are so many transitions, so many. In life, there are so many. There's a transition, for example, when you stop studying and you start doing a job. There's also one transition. What else? There's a transition when you get married. There's a transition when you
baby.
Good, when you have a baby, for example, when you have a child, your own child. There's a transition when you change, for example, from junior high school to university. Right? It's also a transition. What else? There's a transition when you become, for example, when you turn from a boy to a man. Right? You start like everything gets strange inside you, like your brain, the way you think, the way you see things. That is also a very important transition. What else? There's a transition when you leave your parents' house and you live by yourself.
I think I will never.
So there are so many different transitions in life that are very important. Now, which of these do you think is the most influential? What's influential? You know what I mean? So which one do you think? Wedding. You mean when you become a married person? You become a husband. Okay, what else? When you have a child. Okay, what else?
反正我不会离家，我不会结婚，我不会生小孩。
You are able to buy a house. You are able to buy a house or a car. When you are able to buy a house or a car.
When you are able to buy a house or a car. Okay.
你会变身吗？
What else?
真的要当一个大人。
Is that it?
没有，我没有很像大师哭啊。
这还会手术因为这边
声音还好，而且我还可以唱歌。
Alright,
我
so
主要可能就是打电动唱歌。
here it says.
打好，真的有。
有 video 就是打电动唱歌。
Alright, listen, here it says, number one, here it says, Unit 6 goals. So talk about milestones in your life. Talk about the best age to do something, or use how questions to get more information.
How
And describe an important transition in your life. You know the meaning of milestone. What's milestone?
so
A milestone is
When your YouTube got 100 million subscribers.
But wait, do you know the word? Just the word milestone. You know what it is? The milestone is a point in your life, or a point on your trip that actually makes the difference between what came before and what comes after. Yeah, and a physical milestone is just a concrete. You know what concrete is? Yeah.
我帮你准备那个，
就是里程碑啊。
转列点。
Long time ago,
You have it, yeah.
they used to put this. I think they stopped doing this right now. They used to put these things made of concrete between, for example, two cities or like north and south, and then they will tell you, for example, next city. They write the name of the city here, and then they will tell you, for example, like 60 miles.
Oh, maybe.
Right? This is a milestone. You understand that? But here, it also means a point in your life where you stop. Alright? You pass certain things on your back, and then you stop at a certain point, but you still have something to come ahead. So, but at that point, you realize some change, or you realize something that is different than before. So this is the meaning of milestone here on the book. It says, talk about milestones in your life, like the major facts that happen in your life. Like what? Just an example? Okay, for example, like there was a point in your life where you told yourself, I'm different than before. Like, at what point did you say this? What? At what point did you say that you are different, or you realize that you are different than before? Okay, for example, the first milestone when you are a child, alright, is when you start to go out by yourself. You start to go to school by yourself. You don't need your father or mother to take you. Right?
Yeah.
Imagine the first day when your mother said, now you can go by yourself. How did you feel on that day?
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
I got you.
You feel like something big is happening in your life. You're experiencing something that you have never experienced before. You understand the meaning of what I said?
Yep.
So this is just one part of it, but there's so many in your life. For example, when you cook your first meal, without the help of anyone. You understand what I mean?
And I blow up my kitchen.
So all these are milestones. Like what is the most, or the major milestone that really affected your life, or that really marked a certain point? Okay, what else? Again, one of the most major milestones is when you start working, when you get a job and you start working, your first salary is also a very important milestone. Because you never worked before, so you never really earned something. Maybe most of the money that you have, your parents give you that. But yes, the first month when you work and you get a salary, that salary means a lot to you because somebody gave it to you. So that is also a very important milestone. So do you have anything important to say?
And then spend it.
And you spend it fast? Actually, from that first salary, it can decide your life, how it's going to be. You know what I mean? It's either you spend it, and you will do the same thing with all your salaries, or you try to manage it. And then that's how you're gonna do every month when you get money. So that's why it is a milestone. It's either like you say, wow, I have a lot of money, and then you just go and spend it, and then probably 4 or 5 days later you don't have anything. You will probably be the same every month in your life in the future. Or you manage it. You think first before you spend any money. You're like, I want to save some, I want to keep some, and I want to have fun with some. I want to buy my son something, for example. You understand what I mean? So that is one of the most important milestones in your whole life. So if you ever get a job and work, don't just think about it, how to manage your budget. You know what budget is? Alright, so here it says, describe important transitions. So, you can't think of any transition, right? Alright, so now turn the page and you will see what we have here. And it says, talk about milestones in your life. So, here it says, an adult, baby, senior citizen, teenager, and child. Do you know what senior citizen is? Yes, an old person. Like, when people start to need assistance, you know what assistance is? Assistance. No, assistance. Yes, you know what assistance is? Yeah, help. Assistance means help. You know, have you ever heard assistant? Yeah. So what does that mean? It means helper. Right? Assistance with CE is a noun. So it means help. So senior citizens are the people who start to need assistance. For example, when you get on the bus, what does it say? Yield your seat for senior citizens. You understand that? You know what yield is, right? What is yield? Y-I-E-L-D. Yield. Y-I-E-L. You know the verb? It's a verb. Yield. You know? Y-E-L-D. Y-I-E-L-D. Yeah. Do you know the meaning? Not surrender. Surrender is not surrender. Surrender is like go back with something, go back to something, or go back with something, or go, but it's negative. Surrender is negative. Yield is like seed. You know seed? C-E-D-E? Seed? Seed. Oh. Yeah, give some. Yes. Yes. This is seed or yield. The same thing. So you say, for example, when you're a senior citizen, and then you can probably enjoy, or not enjoy, you can benefit. You can benefit from certain assistances, for example, that maybe your government tried to provide for you. For example, like you get priority. You know priority? I know before. Priority means when you are one of the people who get the first choices or the first chances. Oh, you understand? So you get the priority to sit on a bus or on an MRT or whatever, right? You get the priority to be the first served. You understand first served? First served. Oh, right, because they actually regarding maybe your ability to do things or your health capability or your age maybe or your health state, then you are a priority for something. Just like, for example, what's happening right now in some countries, when this corona thing is happening, who gets the vaccine first?
EU
Senior citizens.
他们这样子让好人先接种的目的是就是
好一点，这个都
很酷的事情。那
对啊，
医生接种才
医生因为他也小年轻人先不要。
可是医生接种聊风险。
No, actually, the first people who get that are the important people. Who are the important people? The doctors, the police officers, those people who serve the community. Because they need to be there to serve community. So they give them first, and together with the senior citizens. You understand what I mean? But the other normal, like teenagers or young people, they don't need that as much as senior citizens do. So this is probably the reason why they do this. Now here we have infancy and childhood. You know what infancy is? Infancy is a noun. You know infancy? Infancy is a noun from infant. You know infant. Infant is also a noun. And it means a baby. Okay, and then after infancy we have? Okay, so here they give you he's and she's. So infancy, what do you say? He's what? No. No, they want you to use the same word. Can you say, for example, he's infancy? No. You cannot say he's infancy. So how would you say that? Using the same word? No. No, because do you know why I can't say that? Because infancy is a noun that's actually not attributed to a person. So how would you change that infancy to a word that fits that? Okay, how do you say baby? Is there another way to say baby? Baby. You know? Okay, the word is infant. Infant with T. Infant. So he's an infant.
F-A-N-T.
Huh? A-N first. A-N. And then infant. I-N-F-A-N-T. Infant. You understand the meaning? Okay, how about the next one? Cheese. Which one is easy? She's. Yeah, she's what?
Adult.
No, not adult. The girl. Look. She's a child. Right. And then look. Next one is adolescent. Do you know what adolescent is? You understand adolescent? You got the adolescent. Yeah, I just told you the answer. Yeah, but how do you say that? You cannot say adolescent. What do you say? What is the word? Yes, adolescent.
Yes.
Okay, and then there we have adulthood. Adulthood. So what do you say? An adult. She's an adult. And then old age.
Senior citizen.
Right, senior citizen. He's a senior citizen. And then here it says complete the photo captions with a phrase from the box. Okay, now what do you think? At what age do people make these transitions? Okay, what age do people make these transitions? For example, from infancy to childhood.
10 岁，10
What do you think?
infancy
to childhood. 3 or 4 or 5.
没有吧？
从小宝宝。
阶段就是 teenager 了。
No,
infant
到 childhood.
下一个就是 teenager 了。
对啊。那它中间有个格啊。
因为 childhood 有一个距离啊。
没有啊，从小宝宝到一个差不多的一个人。
6岁吗？
5、6岁的啊，我刚就讲5、6岁啊。
就这样有药可以。
But I don't think it's 6, right? 6 is a little too late.
Yeah.
Maybe 4, right? Because 1, 2, 3, let's say until 4, you can still call that a baby. You know what I mean? After 4, it's not a baby anymore. It's a child. Right? And then how about from childhood to adulthood?
Sure.
For example, let's say from, okay, like from 5 to what? To 12? Okay. And then from adolescence to adulthood. 18, okay, and then from adulthood to old age? 65, okay. So here it says a baby can't walk or talk, a child can't what?
Can walk or not?
Yeah, wow. Nothing? So what can't a child do?
What can't
Not can't.
Eat hard things.
Eat hard things.
A child.
Okay, can't go out by themselves. Okay.
They can't make money.
Okay, now how about adolescents? What can't an adolescent do?
They can't sleep all day.
Work.
An adolescent can't work.
They can.
Okay. Now what can't?
不够吗？15、16吧。
What can an adult do?
What can't
What can't an adult do?
They
Crime?
Stay
can't.
at home whole day.
Stay at home all the
谁
whole
说
day.
不行啊？如果他们都是成年人，他们也每个人都待在家里当社畜啊。他们是另类社畜好吗？
有赚钱。Don't work.
那我可以挖矿啊。
Can't.
不是啊，我有306零
No
啊，
job.
我可以拿306零挖。
No job.
Can't be jobless, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, what else? Is there something else? Like something really...
大人什么可以做啊？
大人不能做，
大人
没有他可以。
大人不能那个不让座位。
你这不行啊。
So, can't what?
Can.
I don't know.
Can't be unresponsible, for example.
Oh.
No, they can. Because some.
Not unresponsible, irresponsible. I don't know what it is. It's not unresponsible, it's irresponsible. Can't be irresponsible. Right? Okay, the next one is, what can't a senior citizen do?
What can a senior citizen?
Exercise.
Smoke weed every day.
Exercise what?
What?
What do you mean exercise?
激烈运动。
Strong.
Strong.
Okay, wait. This, you said it before. Who remembers how to say this?
激烈。强烈。
那个。
那个
You guys remember the word?
是 extreme。
活塞运动。
Extreme.
No, not extreme. No.
那个高心腹
C A. You remember CAR?
cardio
Yes. Can't have intensive cardiovascular activity.
cardiovascular。
What is intensive?
just
Intensive means when somebody puts a lot of efforts, too much. You find it intensive? Yeah. So they can't have, senior citizens can't have intensive cardiovascular activity.
Intense cardiovascular activity.
Yeah. Can't have intensive cardiovascular activity. Not intense, intensive. Intensive is ADJ. Intensive is IN. T-E-N-S-I-V-E. Yeah, it's an AEJ. Intensive. Activity. Yeah, they can't have an intensive cardiovascular activity.
我拿英文的。英文一样的道理。
Intensive.
Yes.
Intensive is different from intense.
Okay, intensive, all of them are AEJ. Right? But if you say, for example, something is intense, it's like something that is deep. Intensive, when you use intensive, mostly you use it with something that has an activity, some movement in it. You understand? Okay, I'll give you an example. Just like including, right, and inclusive. Have you ever heard inclusive?
No.
No? You can look it up in your dictionary.
Okay.
S-I-V-E, inclusive. You find it? You understand the meaning of inclusive?
广泛的。
You understand? But there's another ADJ, the same, included, or have you ever seen this? For example, you say all included, all inclusive. Both of them are good, we'll use them in different ways. The same as intense and intensive. You understand? Intense, it has more than just a physical thing that you see. For example, you can see, you can listen to some poem, or a song, or a poem, right? You know what a poem is, right? Okay, and then you can say the words in this poem are intense. Well, you don't say intensive. It means they are deep. They have some deep meaning. You understand me? Do you know what I mean? You know what poem is, right? Poem. Yeah. You know what it is? Yeah.
就是文那个啊，是啊，写的那个诗啊。
哦，是。诗词的诗。
哦，梦哦。
你怎么了？
哇。
Okay. 这什么？
So when you listen to some, some of them are really beautiful, right? How do you make the difference? How do you say this one is beautiful, this one is good? By the words that they use inside, right? So these words, when you listen to them, some of them you feel that they have some very big impact on you, and the meanings are really, they get to the bottom of your heart, for example, right? So which word can you say? You can say, this poem is intense or intensive?
Intensive.
Intensive. You can say the meaning of the poem, or you say the poem has intense words or intense meaning. Intensive is when there's some action. For example, you can say, tomorrow I'm going to the gym, I'm going to have an intensive workout. Or you don't say intense workout.
Intensive
我们两个有点像，可是有点不一样。
You understand the meaning? Just like included and inclusive.
哦。
哇，你都好人。
For example, you can say, "What? I bought this book."
This is English.
Alright? And the CD was included.
包含在内。
It's physical. Right? You understand? And you can say, for example, I went to Japan and I paid $10,000, alright? For all-inclusive tickets plus hotel room plus maybe a city tour, all-inclusive. IV. You understand? You never heard this before? All inclusive? Type it on Google.
All inclusive.
All inclusive.
全部都包含在内。
不会啊，这里也写。
ALL, all, and then inclusive.
Oh my
I
god.
only know all included. I don't know all inclusive.
Included is when something is physical, something that you see.
Included.
So
Can you find it? All
inclusive is not physical.
Included is not physical. What?
Here it's not physical.
But included is physical.
Yeah.
Why?
哪里可能？
Why?
好可能。
Woo.
Did you find all inclusive?
No.
Yeah? Do you know the meaning of it? What is all inclusive?
全包。
Everything in it. Everything inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the meaning of it.
All in one.
三合一啊。
不要，
咖啡。
好讨厌那
不
个。
是啊，三合一啊，all in one。
我不要这样呀，我讨厌那个。
Did you find it?
哦，因为我也在写。其实那本蛮简单。
All included. All included.
很多。
Okay, for example, look, if you want to find it easy, you can write all-inclusive trips. Yeah, this will help. All-inclusive trips.
Inclusive is
上面是
physical
大
or
桥，
not
下面是
physical?
小桥。然后我。
All-inclusive here is not physical.
Not physical.
Yeah.
All inclusive.
算了，
Say again?
我刚开车，我那个油门不加。
So do you understand the meaning here? All-inclusive vacation packages.
All inclusive.
Do you find it?
Restore.
我那个油门呢不加，直接
哇，他们看起来很开心，
跟我一样。
他们看起来很开心。
But it doesn't mean that sometimes people don't make the mistake and write included. Sometimes people still make the mistake and write included. But to some people they don't mind, so it goes. But the real meaning, the real way to write it, for example, put something like this, non-physical, you say inclusive, all inclusive, IVE. So this is just to show you the meaning between intensive and intensive, and inclusive.
It's
So
so hard.
not hard, you just get used to it. When you read it, on and on and on and on, you will get used to it. You will know the difference. You understand? Because most of the time, in Taiwan, they don't write inclusive, they write included. It doesn't mean that they are wrong, but that's just not the correct way to write it.
Oh.
You understand?
他不对，但他没有错。
他不对，但是他没有
他
错。
不对，
但他没有错。
啊，这不是双重否定，但是它又是一种双重否定。
2加4会等于6，1加1加1加1加1加
Okay,
1也等于
the
6。
meaning of what I said is that it is not wrong in the way you write, but it's not the correct chosen word for this kind of situation.
文法上没有错。
You understand what I mean?
他又
可以，
是
他可以
他
这样
讲法
文法上是错，但是意思上是没有错。就是他可以这样写，但他不是最好的那个。
哦，那有其他的选
这不是最好
项。
的字眼。
就像你在选择题 A、B、C 都出现2个选项，你要选另外一个。
你要选最好的那
不然
个。
你会被扣分。
对，另外一个也对，但你要选最好的。
对。好难哦。
Alright, anyway, let's do the next one.
阅读推论文档里面，如果告诉你1加1等于3，下面问你1加1不能写2。
因为他已经告诉你1加1等于3
他
了。
说一文中解释，你的1加1等于多少？你说呢？做这你知道是2变正解。
We did 41, right?
哇，太高深了吧？
太困难了。
欢迎来到阅读推论。
请问1加1等于多少？
我觉得我明天就马上忘记了，那太难。
我觉得会忘，算了吧。
Okay, so here we have 1 on 41. It says write C for sentences with the correct capital letters and then rewrite the incorrect sentence. Now, Flynn says that the doctors can travel by plane.
在哪里啊？
That's just one sentence on 41. So, is that correct or incorrect? Did Flynn say that the doctors can travel by plane? By airplane? What do you guys think?
是医生的那个。
In my country. What?
41, the bottom of 41. say that, then you write C, and it's correct.
哦，哦，
他会问哪个
Okay, for like the,
所以是 split 的那个的
yeah, so the capital letters.
D 要改成大写。
yeah.
So which one?
It's not true when the T needs to be capital.
No, I mean, the first one. The first one is okay?
It's
not
not,
true.
not true.
So which one is it?
The doctor.
The doctor, so the first T of the, T-H-E, is capital,
Yes.
okay? And then?
And then Mr. Burns asked how can.
And what, wait, why doctors doesn't need a big D?
Why doctor?
Why doctors doesn't need big D?
Because in 他们需要大字，反正不需要。
那什么专有名词？专有名词啊。
对啊，
就是 doctor 不是吗？
这就是一个数据啊。
Why not?
Because in the, because normally it didn't need to be capital.
No? Sometimes it has to be capital.
So this needs to be
Yes,
capital?
but this one doesn't need
When
to
you
be
are
capital.
defining,
When it's a title.
Oh, but it's not
But
title.
this is not a title, yes?
Yes.
I just want to make sure that you know the difference, because normally sometimes if doctor is a title, it becomes big D. If
Oh,
it's
the
not a
word.
title, yes, if it's not a title, just an occupation, then you don't have to write the big D.
Oh, the first word will be.
Yeah.
No.
啊，
第一个字会变手。
Alright, next one is,
差不多。
his friend asked, how can they do that?
没有，我一直都算。
How?
H
Okay, big H, right, of how?
Oh,
and
let's see.
there we will build
So Flint answered, we will build a place for a plane to land near every outback home. So, we
That's impossible with French.
这个是对的吧？
Right. Oh, we can always try.
这个是
Okay, that's impossible, his friend said.
Correct.
correct.
So which one is it?
Correct.
Okay, correct. Alright.
His friend asked how can people so
So
far
when
away
they ask
were
for
doctor-
doctor,
How?
how, then.
But wait, number 4, but, does it need to be capital?
No.
No,
No.
No.
Okay,
it's just DSU.
alright, next.
让你来讲。
When say we will use the radio to send and receive messages.
Oh,
Okay, we.
我刚一有他。
Radios can receive messages.
But wait, number 5, this is how, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we did.
And then,
Radios
radio.
can receive messages and but they cannot
And
send them.
then,
So,
correct.
Correct.
okay, next one, the doctor.
The doctor say take 112 for number 7 every $3.
Take,
Okay, take.
Put number 16 on your arm to sensate and take one in from
And
number
it
8.
doesn't need to
And
be,
don't have
and don't have to be capital.
Alright, and A doesn't have to be capital, next one.
the doctor say call me back tomorrow at the same time and tell me how you feel. Call me.
Oh.
Call me when.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sentence.
now here's
No,
the direct,
good
this
so.
is the direct quotation. You know what a quotation is?
No.
Do you guys know quotation?
No.
Quotation
The
mark.
quotation. Okay, the quotation marks. When you use a quotation, you always put a quotation mark. Or the quotes.
这个。
So it's how somebody said something, exactly the way that person said it. You don't change anything. For example, you can say, okay, he says, for example, he says, I don't want to go to school tomorrow. So if I talk, I can say, he said that he doesn't want to go to school tomorrow. Is this a quotation? No.
It doesn't.
Listen, he says, I don't want to go to school tomorrow.
No.
Right? But maybe she didn't hear what he said. She said, what did he say? And I said, he said that he doesn't want to go to school tomorrow. Is this a quotation? No, it isn't. If I say, he said, I don't want to go to school tomorrow. Is this a quotation? This is a quotation. Quotation is when you report exactly the same thing
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a quotation.
When
Okay, here it says, did you know that, when the service began in 1928, the radios they used had pedal power generators. The flood doctors and nurses are on standby day and night for emergency calls. The territory of the flying doctor
covers 2 million ground, and they can reach any part of it within 2 hours.
So, do you know all this? Flying doctors? I don't know why I said Flynn. Oh, Flynn is a young person, right?
Yes.
So, do you know the meaning of this pedal generators? Pedal power generators? What is pedal? You know pedal?
Not generators. Generator.
Okay, the pedal is everything that you use your foot to control. Alright, for example, a bicycle has pedals, right? And a bicycle is also called a pedal bike. Right? Some long time ago, I think people start saying that anymore. A long time ago, they called it pedal bike. They don't call it bicycle, they call it pedal bike. Some people still call it bicycle, but pedal bike was very common. Now it's not common at all. And the pedal is also something that you have on a piano. You know, pianos have pedals, yes. Guitars, electric guitars, they also have a pedal.
Oh yeah.
Right? The car, when you drive a car, you have the accelerator, the clutch, and the brake. Those are also called pedals. So there's different kinds of pedals. It's everything that you control, everything that you use your foot to control. That's called a pedal. All right, and generator, yeah, we said, what did you say before? You say you know generator?
I know.
Yeah, what is it?
A machine that can make electricity.
Okay, that's a machine that can collect electricity, adapt it to the system, and sends it out. This is a generator. You know, even long time ago, the bicycles, since we're talking about bicycles, they had generators. These generators used to be called dynamos. Have you ever heard dynamo? What's a dynamo?
好像是拿来发光亮机面那个照在那，所以我不确定是在几点的。Dynamo.
Do you know this word? Dynamo?
No. 发电机。
Okay, this dynamo, the dynamo is a generator.
Yeah.
So what it does is that it gets energy from something that moves on. It could be water, it could be wind, it could be whatever. It takes that energy and it collects it, it generates it inside, and then it sends it according to the system that you have. You understand what I mean? For example, the power plants in Taiwan and many countries is the same. They generate power, they generate electricity, and then they send it through wires. Those wires are adapted to a certain system. Do you understand the meaning? For example, the system here, the electricity system here is 110 volts, right? In other countries, for example, if you go to China, it's 240, right? So, if you put your finger there, put some water on your hand, and put your finger there, what's going to happen to you? You're going to get electrocuted, but you probably won't die. Almost. Yes? Go do that in China. It's more than 2 times
the electricity
the electricity.
in
You
Taiwan.
understand that?
他们是多少200？
没有
400，
我们110，
我们110或220啊。
然后日本是
No, mostly 100, 110, 220, and 240.
Yes. And China 400.
China is 240.
我觉得好像。
So that generator, it sends the electricity out according to your system. cannot send, for example, anything. It could probably send you 300. It could send you less. You understand? But there's a generator that actually gives you the right amount of electricity. Alright, anyway, now here it says, what did the ancient Egyptians give us? Where is Egypt located? What is the climate and geography? What are the ancient Egyptians famous for? And what do pictures of the ancient Egyptians tell us about them? Do you know this?
Where is Egypt?
Where is
North
Egypt?
is north.
Say it. Say it.
Africa.
Okay, start with north first. Northeastern Africa. Okay, northeastern Africa. Now, what is its climate? Desert. Okay, but and the climate is also the kind of weather, the most usual kind of weather. For example, you could say, is it hot? Is it cold? Is it dry? Is it wet?
热带沙漠气候啊。
热带地中海。
不是热带地中海。
温带地中海啊。
啊，温。
这会。
对，好像热带地中海啊。
热带地中海什么鬼啊？温带地中海。
地中海。
有没有热带？
社会主义要生气。
对啊，社会主义。
我就社会主义啊，这样。
对啊，
我都理解。
So what do you think?
That.
Okay, this is what kind of climate? Because
it's hot and
okay,
dry.
Mostly hot and dry. Okay, you say that.
温带沙漠不一定。
温带沙
它是
漠。
干而已，它没有热。
它夏天很热，
还有寒末。
年日温差也大。
而且忘记寒末了吗？寒末也是不下雨啊。
是啊，因为它太冷了。
寒末冷吧，对，冷到不下雨。
What are the ancient Egyptians famous for?
Pyramid.
Pyramid.
有些人也埃及那个。
安多美达吧，大概安多美达。
哪一个？
我不知道，还有。
They're famous for the pyramids.
牛顿是3人。
Okay, what else?
牛顿已经
然后那个人面狮身。
哦。
Nile River.
The ancient Egyptians are famous for the Nile River.
Yeah.
How about the Egyptians right now? They're not famous for the Nile River.
They
still have the same river.
The god of Nile and the god of Nile River.
木乃伊上。
Yeah.
Mummy.
Yes, but they were famous for what? They were famous for the what we call now technology. They had this technology of mummifying things. So they mummified many things. What's mummify? No, mummify is the verb. To make a mummy is to mummify. You understand? So a mummy is a noun, right? The verb is to mummify. Just like clear is an what is it? Clear is an ADJ, and clarify is a verb. Two M's.
Oh.
Mummify. You find it? So you can say, for example, the ancient Egyptians are or were famous for mummifying what? Animals and people. Right? So they mummified animals like what?
木乃伊画可以洗电话。
木乃伊的技术。
They mummified cats and snakes and many things. And dogs too. Alright? And people, of course. Alright, so this is what they were, some of the things that they were famous for. Now, what do pictures of the ancient Egyptians tell us about them? What do the pictures tell you about them? Anything?
Tells about them.
Yes.
How to
actually the ancient Egyptians were an organized community. So the pictures that they had, it showed you that they all their like, you know what a walk of life? You know what walk of life is? What is walk of life?
Walk of life.
Walk, like walk.
A walk
Of walk
Offline?
of life is like
walk. You need
situation, situation in the community.
You need a walk.
Walk of life.
What are you doing?
Okay, in the new language, we say walk of life is like kind of job, kind of situations in your society or your community. You find it? Walk of life?
Walk
好累了今天，
walk of life.
Yeah, what is it?
因为你刚看的。
它是行业，这边很奇怪吗？对啊。
Different types of jobs and
Yes.
different levels of success.
Exactly, that's what it is.
这是什么？
就是各行各业，社会
哎
阶层，，
真的呀？
社会阶层，或者是社会阶层。
Alright, so here, actually, on their pictures, actually, it shows that they had an organized society or community that shows that people from all walks of life living under the same system, alright? Like they also have the nobles, you know what noble is, right?
贵族。
They have the nobles, they have the probably even higher ranking than the nobles, and then they have the people like the everyday people, you know, that were just living like robots, like slaves, you know. So they had different kinds of rankings. You understand that? Whereas other countries maybe, or other territories at that time, there was just one person, right? Who was probably the king or whoever, and then the people who guard him, and then down below, everybody's the same. You understand what I mean? So at that time, they still had some people who are like rich, some people are poor, some people who are at a like probably a certain degree. So their pictures also showed this, and then what else? Okay, well, anyway. All right, so let's do the reading. Did you write the 15? You keep them? 14? Okay, you can choose one more. Alright, so today what are we doing?
我还没有猜。
Chapter 21, is it? 23? 22, sorry, last one was 22. Today's 23.
哎，尾最后一天了吗？
Alright, you can start doing it.
后文没有了，还没有23人。
要完结了吗？
他第四集
我还有20还有送啊，照啊，破啊，泡泡啊。
二是在第六点，recovery 包括一说是被淹死的。Another is irreversibility damage from the atmosphere. Complex and verified. It was considered the man from Young, Tyler Parrot. The two friends of the Parrot quickly exchanged their names, and Costello was surprised and delighted to hear that he had found Metropolitan and sounded merely like a true friend. Many also complained about telling Costello about visit and how slow she had found Parrot. Lily told Costello to go back to the Parrot and tell Costello she had found Metropolitan. However, he did not want to say that the two not able to find all over the material.
Tyler Rosberg pointed out that if she let them spend by the monsters would be taken away by the musketeers. Pointed out that taking care of our come back when you have seen the paranoid and tell me what he wants me to do next. Here we go, recognize the carriage is me. Small town called Paradise. It's on the river and I only have to cross the river to be out of her country. Pretty sure you will find me there. Tyler Rosberg did not know that Admiral was very bad. So he can write down the gala of Bethany. This was the paper Then went back to Boston and covered back on the Roger and seeing some of the Cardinal stars and coming to the motor. Coming to take my monsters back to Paris. Was very worried and not what she should do. Come to her in her carriage. We won't go very far away, she said. In case the musketeers to arrive, I will send the carriage driver back here to watch for their arrival. If they come, he will come and tell us. We can trust him. She Hudson was just having something to eat. And she thought it best that they didn't hear me first. While they were eating, there were